While we love the good folks at Epic Games and their incredible commitment and dedication to Fortnite, sometimes they tend to jump the gun and make mistakes every now and then. Hey, we all make mistakes, but some mistakes are much bigger than others. Fortnite has had plenty of minor issues that they've ironed out through weekly updates, but they've also had their fair share of huge mess-ups that they've had to publicly apologize for. Infinity Blade. You knew we had to get into the biggest mess up right away. We were not going to save it for last. When the Infinity Blade was first released, it was an awesome addition to the game because we never had any melee weapons other than our pickaxe. But just like Kevin LaFortnite, we quickly realized this thing was the most OP weapon in the game by a country mile. The Infinity Blade had crazy powers and was able to turn you pretty much into Thanos from the limited time mode that we had a while ago. One hit easily took down opponents, and then you were able to launch yourself in the air to deliver a powerful strike. The blade could even take down structures in a matter of seconds. There was seemingly nothing this weapon couldn't do. It was an unfair advantage for players to use the Infinity Blade, and it would have been better as part of an LTM instead of part of the main game. Everyone and their mom started to complain about this weapon, which led to Epic Games actually apologizing for adding it to the game. In a tweet, they admitted that the weapon was overpowered and didn't have any good counters, especially in the game. They even thanked us for calling them out. Those guys over at Epic Games, hey, they're as classy as it gets. Jiggle Physics. When Season 6 first launched, we were really looking forward to seeing what happened to Kevin the Purple Cube, but some players were really excited because of something else. If you purchased Battle Pass Season 6, like we're sure you did, then you noticed right away that there was something different about the Calamity skin. As SMG Princess shows us, she came with some Jiggle Physics. When she's doing the Jubilation emote, there's a whole lot of jiggling going on. Look away, kids, you're too young to see this. While this got plenty of teens really excited, it caught Epic Games by surprise. Supposedly, they didn't put these physics into the game on purpose and had no idea where they came from. They said that it was unintended, careless, and embarrassing for these physics to be in the game, and we're working on a fix. Well, whoever did put the physics in, whether it was on purpose or by accident, probably ended up getting fired for what we think is the most hilarious reason of all time. We understand the game's for kids, but they're just jiggle physics. It's not like there's any nudity or anything, so it was completely blown out of proportion. Either way, it was weird that it was suddenly introduced, and we weren't surprised Epic Games not only apologized, but were quick to fix the minor issue as well. 14 Days of Fortnite. The 14 Days of Fortnite challenges we got in Season 7 were very interesting, and obviously they were based on the 14 Days of Christmas. How they worked was that each day a new challenge would be released, and completing it would give you a reward. Now, it could be anything from a sticker emote to a brand new glider. If the day passed, you could have still completed the challenge, but a few days after the 14 days were over, the challenges were gone and you were never able to get those items again. It sucks, but that's why you need to take advantage of these limited time events. The thing is, the whole event ended a little prematurely. An Epic Games employee took to Reddit to let everyone know that the challenges would remain active for an extra day or two after the 14th and final day. So many players decided that they'd get to these challenges on that extra day. The only problem was that this extra day never came. It ended right on the 14th day, which forced Fortnite to apologize about the whole ordeal on Twitter and gave everyone who completed at least one of the challenges the equalizer glider that was the day 14 reward. Just like with the one who added Jiggle Physics, we wouldn't be surprised if this employee no longer works for Epic Games. Playground mode. In Season 4, we were introduced to Playground Mode, which was an awesome addition to Fortnite. Players like Muselk were given an hour to do anything they wanted. They could create epic structures, play mini games with their friends, blow themselves up with rocket launchers. Everything was on the table since players could just respawn when they die. That being said, the launch of the mode didn't go according to plan. In fact, it was an unmitigated disaster. Almost as fast as the mode launched, it got taken down. This was because squads of 4 would get their own match instead of a group of 100 players, which meant their servers were working overtime. When combined with the incredible amount of hype behind the mode, Their servers simply couldn't handle such a high volume of players, which caused matchmaking services to fail. 2 days later, Epic Games had no choice but to remove it from the game and work on their matchmaking services to make sure the same issue didn't happen again in version 2. This all led to Fortnite apologizing for the inconvenience on Twitter and promising to reintroduce the mode a week later, and that's exactly what they did. After reorganizing their server resources, Epic Games reinstated Playground mode a week later, and it's been a vital part of Fortnite ever since. They stayed true to their word. Extended outage. Fortnite was at its peak in Season 3. This was the season where we got the most new players, and the game was just skyrocketing in popularity. Since there were so many players and the end of the season was just around the corner in April 2018, tons of Fortnite players were getting on to finish up those challenges and get to Tier 100 so they can get their hands on the John Wick skin and work their way towards the Octane glider. Due to all of these players, the matchmaking service of the game suddenly crashed. It sounds a lot like what happened to the Playground LTM just a few months later. On April 11th, 2018, players were having a lot of trouble getting into games. The matchmaking kept failing, and they were left without their favorite game for a day or two. Outraged fans started complaining to Epic Games on pretty much every social media that you can imagine, and a day later, Epic Games apologized to players for the extended outage on their website and decided to give them some compensation for their mistake. Fortnite Battle Royale players were able to pick up the Rust Bucket backbling for free in the item shop, and Save the World players were given a Troll Stash Llama in the loot tab for free. That was very nice of Epic Games. Incorrect bans. While being able to report players is a great feature to have in multiplayer games, sometimes it doesn't go as planned. Salty players just report others who eliminated them and say they cheated or something, which isn't true. Now, we've all sent a salty report one time or another, it's just a part of the multiplayer experience, but the thing is, the developers can usually tell a joke report from a real report. If hundreds of different players report a player, then it might be legit, but not if only one player does it. Clearly, Epic Games didn't get the memo because they were banning players left, right, and center for no reason at all. It was as if any player who got reported once was getting the ban hammer. Many of these players took to social media to express their frustrations and asked to be unbanned. Epic Games were notoriously slow to respond to emails about these bannings, and when they did respond, the problem usually wasn't fixed anyway. Luckily, this all had a happy ending, as Epic Games unbanned tons of players. In typical Epic Games fashion, just unbanning them was not enough. They also issued an apology in Fortnite and decided to give every player that was wrongly banned 2,000 V-Bucks that they could spend on whatever they want in the item shop. That's enough for a legendary skin of your choosing. Storage wipe. Switching gears to Save the World, players often forget this game mode even exists. Epic Games promised that they'd make it free to play late in 2018, but that did not happen. It's still in early access and you need to pay to play, so it's not nearly as popular as Fortnite Battle Royale. Still, the game does have a loyal fan base that expects to be treated the same way as Epic Games treats its Battle Royale players. It's not too much to ask. On December 18th, 2018, a Save the World event known as Frostnite was released, which added a bunch of new heroes and weapons to the game, but there was an unforeseen glitch that ruined everything for players in the PvE mode. Playing one round of the new event somehow wiped the storage of many players of the game, which meant that every bit of progress they made was for nothing. Could you imagine? I would lose it. All those hours spent grinding for traps, weapons, and materials went right down the drain as all their gear was taken away. Epic Games later confirmed that the update had a glitch that deleted player storage and apologized for it on Twitter. Of course, they decided to compensate players for their troubles, so Save the World players got 1,000 gold, 500 snowflake tickets, and access to 3 free event llamas. Players ended up getting their inventories back too, so everything worked out in the end. Dragon weapon rerolls. Sticking with the PvE Save the World game mode, this is one of the most bizarre happenings in Fortnite history. Just like in the Battle Royale, there are plenty of weapons you can use in Save the World mode, and some of the most powerful ones are known as dragon weapons, shown by Angry Dell. The thing is, just getting one of these weapons is not enough, because they each have specific perks that you could reroll, and players wouldn't stop rerolling them until they were completely satisfied with the perks of their dragon weapon. Back in May 2018, Save the World players noticed that after ages of grinding and trying to get the best dragon weapons in the game, their gear had suddenly changed. This was because a patch accidentally re-rolled their perks, meaning things had changed without players being aware of it. Players spent hours upon hours trying to get these weapons with the perfect perks, but this re-roll forced them to take even more time out of their lives to fix something that was perfectly normal before the patch. Epic Games took to the Fortnite forum on their website to admit that they had messed up. They released a brand new patch that wasn't tested enough before it went public, and a script in its code ended up automatically re-rolling most players' dragon weapons. Storm Shield Base. Storm Shield, also known as Home Base, is one of the main quests in Save the World, and it's so much fun because it allows you to be creative, designing your own base like I'll get this money to defend yourself against an army of husks. Your building progress is automatically saved every time you leave the mission, so there's no need to save your progress or anything like that. Epic Games released an update to the game on August the 4th, 2017 that had some consequences they knew of, but decided not to share them with their players. Now, their update automatically reset the bases players built, but at least they refunded all the materials used to make the base in their Storm Shield storage. Inevitably, this got a huge part of the fan base upset because all of their hard work was gone. Now, most of them didn't realize they got all their materials refunded, but some players had incredibly intricate bases and had to waste some time rebuilding them anyway. Epic Games took to the Fortnite forum on their website to issue an apology for not sharing the full patch notes with their players, which would have let them know that their Storm Shield bases would be reset. Since this was right at the beginning of Fortnite, they didn't compensate players, but it was nice of them to reach out and explain what happened. Better than nothing. Ninja's apology. So here's a bit of a bonus entry. You see, Epic Games has only apologized 9 times for their mistakes in Fortnite, which is more than some big-name developers have done in their entire history. We really respect them for it, but we'd prefer if they got it right the first time, even though we love the freebies we get for their mishaps. This next apology isn't from Epic Games, but from the most popular Fortnite streamer in the world, Ninja. Remember when we talked about salty players reporting other players for stupid reasons? This is exactly what Ninja did to fellow Fortnite player Icy5. Ninja was streaming and got lasered. He was playing with Dr. Lupo at the time, who kept repeating emote after Ninja was eliminated, and just a few seconds later, Icy5 unleashed an emote. This gave Ninja the impression that Icy5 was stream sniping, so he reported him for doing so, saying that he wanted to get the player banned. Icy5 took to Twitter to plead his innocence, saying that he was emoting because 6 people were watching him and he just lasered a guy, so he wanted to put on a show. He had no idea it was Ninja. It was all a misunderstanding. So Ninja apologized to Icy5 privately, but still accused the player of playing the victim and milking it. Yeah, it wasn't a good look for him. And those were all the times that Fortnite messed up and then had to publicly apologize, and then we decided to throw Ninja in there too. Are there any public apologies that we may have missed? Let us know in the comments section below, and then don't forget to subscribe to CBR for more Fortnite content. Thanks for watching.